Hello, friends. How are you? Today, we are dealing with child centered teaching. To begin with, an honest endeavor should be to teach a child and see that individual attention is paid so that learning happens. In the process, we need to discover the child's needs, abilities, talent, and give ample opportunities for all round development so that she or he grows into a complete human being. We need to look at comprehensive growth and make an attempt at progress and expansion with an all inclusive personality. First, let us deal with teacher centered. What is it? Teacher dominated and teacher centric teaching and learning. This is also known as curriculum centered or curriculum based. Now, child centered. Here it is the child who is of main concern and center of learning and teaching. This is also known as learner centered. This mostly depends on your individual style of teaching. Some of the elements that could influence are as layout of the classroom, how you prepare for your teaching, number of activities used, types of activities used, and how learner uses your methods. To begin with, let us deal with teacher centered. This is the most common and traditional way of teaching, which was dominant throughout the world over the years. This was assumed to be the only way of teaching. The teacher would dispel the information on a subject in front of students without knowing whether the student has understood or not. It was assumed that a teacher was perfect in the subject and whatever he or she said was gospel, accepted without any dissonance. No questions to be asked. Students who understood were lucky. Those who did not understand were left to their fate. The teacher would do her or his part by taking a lesson. It was one sided teaching. The purpose was to complete the syllabus. The goal was to learn by heart and reproduce in the test or examination. Friends, in due course of time, these assumptions were proved to be incorrect, unacceptable, and insufficient for a student to understand and learn a topic or a concept. And thus, these assumptions were looked down upon, and the child was given the most important place in teaching and learning concepts. Thus, evolved teaching processes and two essential ways, means, or techniques came into existence as follows. One is child centered, that is, teaching and learning revolves around the child. The other one is subject or teacher centered, teaching and learning revolves around the subject. Child centered teaching is complemented by a child friendly environment. The child should be treated as an individual who is able to do anything and is competent, accomplished, talented, proficient, skilled, and gifted. Motivation is what is needed that makes them work towards studying. They should be made to realize the utility of what they are learning, and the rest would be taken care of. Child is the center of the whole process. Teachers' teaching concepts revolve around the child until the goal is achieved. And the goal is the student learning a concept. The purpose of learning has to be reached. child is the center of attraction that is to be served with all ways until he understands. Use any means of teaching and learning, but ultimately the child's understanding of the concept, topic, or story has to be complete. On the other hand, the subject centered approach focuses on the subject, leaving the learner or the child in the periphery. In this process, student or child is nowhere brought into the picture. We find the teacher involved in the subject to be continuously present in the scene. Sometimes both teacher and the subject are so prominent that the learner's role is completely ignored. It is like honk honk and only honking on the subject to the extent that the children are silent and passive participants. The teachers are usually blissfully unaware of this fact, regardless of whether the subject is being taught impressively. The truth of the matter is that the child's mental participation is completely unknown and uncared for. As it is clearly visible in the above illustration, the link between the given factors of child, abilities, behavior, lesson or topic or concept, teaching and learning, all the above are lacking. It is focused only on the subject or teacher. There is no participation of the child. Abilities of a child are not used, developed, encouraged. Positive, constructive, and mindful behavior is not allowed to blossom. Passive participation of children will only enhance one-sided treatment of the subject, topic, or concept by the teacher. The linkage or association between these factors is entirely and absolutely missing. How do we bring in this linkage or association or bonding? What is the solution? Perhaps the best solution is to bring back the focus on the child and thus make teaching and learning process child-centered. Now let's see how this will go with child-centered. Teaching and learning revolves around the child. The question that arises is, what is a child-centered teaching? The answer is that it is actually a child participative teaching. The simple way to interpret this is the fact that all our teaching should be focused on the child. As the lesson is being taught, teacher not only teaches but also should be able to grasp a child's ability to imbibe the imparting of her knowledge. If this is not achieved, then the purpose of teaching is not served. Creation of an environment, friends, is of very importance. Use of appropriate techniques and deeply understanding a child's needs in being free from inhibitions are essentially for successful teaching. The child remains the important focal point. The first step is the preparation of a child to listen and participate. To guide a child, a teacher needs to observe and assess his or her needs and requirements. If that is done, the next step is for the teacher to identify an appropriate methodology of teaching. Here comes the innovative ways to be used in teaching. Friends, we will deal with this in depth in our next video. Till then, like, share and subscribe. Give your questions. Let us discuss on that. Please give your comments too. God bless you. Thank you.